Oh, hey everyone. We are live. So we are here with Kristen and Wes. I'm Wes. And so we're going to be talking about the newly launched forum, which you can get to at forum.robolink.com. Are we able to switch to the camera to see our faces eventually?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. All right. We won't be showing our faces today.
You don't need it.
So just quick overview, why we're using a forum rather than sticking with what we had, which was the Facebook group. I think the main thing is we had a lot of people asking about ways that they could connect with other users that have Robolink products in their classrooms or in their after-school programs, or just users at home. And especially teachers, they would like to share projects that they've done and be able to use the same projects that other people have used successfully in their classrooms. So people have requested that, and it's sort of doable on the Facebook group, but it's a lot easier to share sample code on a forum because it's formatted for that. And it's also searchable. You can upvote answers and then bring those to the top and pin certain answers. So just based on requests, we decided we would launch a forum. And so I'm gonna go over a couple things, just what it is, what the categories are, how to sort posts, how to set your notifications if you want to get answers sent to your email, and then different things about posting. So you can do some cool things like use GIFs, which is pretty nice. So the first thing is it's located here, forum.robolink.com, and you can see all the posts here without having to log in. And you have the latest topics on the right. Those are all the latest things that have happened. And then on the right of each category, you'll see what the latest post in that category was. And then if you click into these, so we've got one announcement here that was me. And basically just this section is going to be for any kind of announcements that we have, whether it's Robolink related or if someone else in the community is doing like a robotics competition in their area and they wanted to invite some other contestants. Introductions. If you would like, I would encourage you to go into this section to introduce yourself, especially if you feel like you need some help from the community or you can offer help to the community. We've got a post here from Doug in one of the Carolinas. I can't remember which one.
Sorry, Doug, if you're watching.
I think it was South Carolina. He's in the Carolinas, and he's played with drones in his AP Computer Science class, so he knows how to use those for computer science. And then we've all introduced ourselves here as well, so we kind of mention what each of us does. I do design things. Grace handles a lot of like processing, POs with schools. Carl can answer a lot of questions about Rocket Smart and the engineering side of things. Kristen is our director of education. She can answer questions about curriculum, lessons, tips in the classroom. Hansel's the CEO. He'll be your contact for business questions. And then looks like we have someone in Japan as well that just signed up. So the general discussion is sort of anything that is, can be about just what you're working on, projects you're doing, things you want to show off, a cool story you have about something you did in the classroom. Educator Corner is specifically for folks in schools, makerspaces, libraries, after-school programs, homeschoolers, or just educators in general. You can go here. I made a post here about grant opportunities. A lot of people ask us questions about where can they apply for money to get funding for bringing Robolink or other STEM products into their classrooms. So this is a good resource.
And we'll be adding more to this post in particular later on. So
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out for that because, we have a Wonder Workshop blog. Eventually, we're going to have our own with our own post on this.
Yeah. So right now, I've just linked to some good resources that Wonder Workshop has and Adventures has. And then you've got your product categories. So you've got Code Drone. If you click into here, you'll see anything that's just general Code Drone questions. So we've got a good amount already. Hansel's been moving any of the email questions he gets into here. And then you've also got in the category a subcategory for troubleshooting. So if you own one already and you're having some trouble, you can ask your questions here. And we're trying to check it pretty regularly. I'm on there every day. Arnold is also there. If you see a Robolink _name, that's going to be anyone at Robolink. So Arnold will be checking for technical questions about Code Drone. The Rocket Smart is next, and it's the same setup. You've got the Rocket Smart general category, which you'll all the posts will be here, and then the subcategory has troubleshooting questions here. And then feedback, just any kind of ideas or things that you notice. I know sometimes things can be frustrating because we are working with technology. So you can, put complaints here, ideas you think we could improve on, or if you had an epiphany recently that you feel like we should definitely try, put that in here. And we're going to be sorting through them sometimes if we feel like a question belongs more in the Code Drone section or in the educator's corner. We'll be moving those around, and we will try to make sure to let you know if we're moving it. But that also relates to the next topic, which is sorting and then notifications. So when you go into each of the categories, you can sort the you can actually sort the topics. So right now we're not logged in yet. So let me just walk you through the login process really quickly. Go to login, and then you're going to register. And then basically you fill in your email, username, password, and then there's going to be a question here to prevent people from creating fake accounts. And it's just a simple question. How many days in a week? For those of you that don't know, that's 7. And then you register and you'll get an email, and then you can actually start using it without confirming the email, but I would recommend you confirm it because once you've confirmed your email, you'll get notifications. So once you've logged in, we're going to switch over to, whoa!
It doesn't.
We're going to switch over to a logged in account. So once you've logged in, you'll be able to go into here and then sort. So like, I see all these questions about, Code Drone, and then I want to see what the newest questions are. That's going to sort them this way. And then you might want to see which one has the most votes. And so a lot of people have been asking questions about troubleshooting. So troubleshooting actually, or no, sorry, that's topics. A lot of people have asked questions about Chromebooks. So you can see 55 people have asked about that, or 55 people have viewed that question, and people have upvoted it. And then this one's also got a lot of views, but no votes yet. So that one's not at the top. And then there's also the ability to, well, some of these are admin tools here, so you folks probably won't see these. But you can mark certain things unread in your topic tools so that next time you come in, you can check it out to see what the updates are. Next is notifications and emails. So by default, if you go to your profile and go to settings right here, you'll be able to see all the places, all the ways that you can get a notification. And so by default, you're going to get notification only, which is going to be a little number up here in the corner where the bell is. If you want to see when people respond to you without having to come to the forum, you can go to here. And so when you it says when a new reply is posted in a topic you are watching, you can get a notification and email. By default, any topic that you post or anything that you reply to, you automatically watch, so that you'll see when people respond to the things that you've interacted with, which I think is a nice feature. But by default, you're not going to get an email, so you would have to come onto the page if you want to see when people have responded. Usually, what we're going to try to do is when we respond to customers that have posted, we're going to make sure that you get an email. So we'll actually switch this on for you when we respond to topics that you've posted, just to make sure that, if it's a troubleshooting question, that you don't necessarily have to come here to see that someone's responded. And then there's also this option, which I think is useful, is when someone mentions you, you can change it to say, notify me and email me. So I'll get into that, how to tag someone after this. But basically you can like call out someone and say, hey, can you help me with this particular problem, since I know that you're teaching high schoolers in Kansas or something. Cool. There's a bunch of other settings in here that you can play with. I'm going to have to disable the skin part because we tried it and it seems to break things. So I'm actually going to see if I can disable that. And other things in here that you might want to adjust for yourself, like when a new post is queued, or if someone started following your topic, things like that. Oh, and then the other thing is digests. So you can actually get updates on what activity has been happening on the forum every week, month, every day, or just turn it off. By default, it's weekly. I know that might be too frequent for some people, so you can turn that off if you'd like. Alrighty. So posting, this is going to be the funnest part because you actually have quite a few interesting options. So you go into, so let's say we go into the Code Drone category and we wanted to post a new topic. It has a nice little layout here where you'll see what your post is going to look like on the right. So I can actually resize this, which is nice. And so let's say we have a topic that's, my code drone is disconnecting or drifting. Let's do disconnecting for now. And then, so anything you type here, every time I connect, the connection out in about 5 seconds. What gives? So anything you type here is going to show up on the right as a preview of what it's going to look like. So some of the cool things you can do here is sample code. So I could do, for example, you type 3 backticks, which is going to be the button to the left of your 1 key. Oftentimes that'll be the case. Some people have different keyboard layouts, I know. But this is the character that you're going to type. And if you don't have that on your keyboard, you can also just use the key up here. So if I type this, that's what it's going to look like. So it's a good way to post some code. So let's see. Oops, sorry about that. Let's say, here's my code. So let's say you've got some code that you want us to take a look at. You can just have it, hold on. I'm going to try to type some realistic code here. So you've got your setup loop here. And the nice thing is it's using Arduino syntax. Why isn't it updating? There we go. It looks like it's having a little bit of trouble updating there, but as we type it, I think it'll continue. So you can see on the right that you can actually do code boxes right there, and then you can also do inline code as well. So you can say, I'm using the connect function, so it'll actually highlight it as code. And if this is hard to remember, you can always just click this. It's going to give you a link to how to do all that, all those different markings. This is just, it's called Markdown. It's used pretty commonly in a lot of programming and like flat file CMS packages. Basically, you don't necessarily have to memorize all those. You can just use these up here. So like if I want to bold this, I'm using, you can just click that the way you normally would with like, you know, Microsoft Word or Google Docs. Or you can do italics. You can do lists over here. Oops. You can do a list right here. Item 1. And do asterisk item 2. Like that. You can do links by just highlighting something and clicking this. And then it's using Markdown syntax where the word's here and then the URL's here. And so you can, once you click the button, you can immediately just type the URL you want right here. So that's going to link you to robolink.com. You can upload files or images. Here, you can use emojis, which is nice. So let's say you're upset, you're sad about something. What gives? You can put a frowny face. And then the last thing that I think is pretty cool, this is just a plugin. You guys don't have to use this, but it's fun, is you can do GIFs. And so this one's a little trickier and it's just a fun thing to use, but you can type an ampersand and then say like, dance. So, oops. Sometimes this window pops up strangely, so you can type dance, for example, and then click the GIF, and you'll get a GIF of a baby dancing. So that is posting, and then one thing that you can do when you're posting is you can actually, if you were to hit submit, it would just post your post as if just like a normal post, like up here. But if you want to do specifically post a question, which I think the troubleshooting section, this will be very useful for, like Drayson did in the code drone section, you can actually post as a question, and that's going to give it a little tag right there. So if I were to post it as a question or ask as a question right here with the drop down, it'll actually throw this next to it, and that gives us a signal that there's a specific thing that needs to be solved there, and then we can mark it solved once we've found that either another user solved it or someone on our team was able to solve it. And then last thing, I believe, oh, sorry, 2 more things. Tagging people. So tagging people is like Twitter or like Facebook. Use the @ symbol, which is Shift-2, and then you can tag, let's tag me. We're using Kristen's account, so we can say, I'm going to tag, hold on a second, Robolink West. So that's me. If I were to post that, that's going to notify me that someone's tagged me and they're trying to address me specifically. So you can see in the preview, you've got your tag right there. So I can actually click that and it'll go to my profile. And then the last thing is upvoting and downvoting. So because it's a forum, there will be a lot of community regulation here. it's community driven. So basically, if someone is posting a post or an answer that's very useful or very good, you can actually upvote it right here. So if I click this, that goes up to 2. I'm going to not give Hansel that one for free though. So you can either upvote or downvote right here. And then that actually changes your reputation. So the higher your reputation, the more likely the person knows what they're talking about. So basically, if people see questions or see answers that are often right, then people on our team will probably upvote it, and then people in the community hopefully will also upvote it. And so you can actually check people's reputation to see if they know what they're talking about. I'm going to discard this one. So I post on here the most just because I started the forum. So reputation 11, I've done 25 posts. So that can give you a sense of whether this person is active, what their reputation is. And then you can also, when you go into a topic, let's go to one that has a couple different posts. This one has 5. So if I were to upvote, let's say I upvote this one, that has a 1 now. So you can actually go to sort by and then most votes. That means that most people found this one to be the most helpful. And I think that'll be pretty useful for just community like regulation of like which posts are helpful, which ones are not. Use the downvotes sparingly. I encourage you all to be positive in the forum. If someone is being particularly obnoxious or silly, we should be able to see it. But if that is the case, then save your downvotes for that. Otherwise, try to either be neutral or upvote when people post in the community. Yeah, I believe that's it. So hopefully this is useful for people. Set up an account, try it out. This has only been up for a couple days now, but we've already gotten about, I think, 15 members. And so we're going to try to encourage people from the Facebook group to ask questions here. And also people that email us, if they're asking questions that are potentially useful for the community, we're going to ask you all to post the questions here so that other people can see the questions and help each other out. Cool. So that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you have any questions, post them on the forum.
Yeah.
And we'll be on there. So we're looking forward to interacting with you all more.
Woohoo.
All right.
Thank you. See you next week.
See you next week.